She told me over dinner, calm, precise, as if reading from a script. I'm having surgery next month. I've decided to stay childless forever. I didn't speak for a full minute. The steak on my plate had gone cold. Then I said the only thing that came to mind. Your decision. She smiled faintly. Maybe she thought that was approval. It wasn't. It was resignation. That night, she slept soundly beside me. I didn't. I stared at the ceiling until dawn, realizing I'd just watched the death of the future I'd once dreamed of. We had been married 6 years. Met in college. She was the driven one, the achiever, the planner. I was the quiet one who believed in balance. We built a life together brick by careful brick, a house, a business, and what I thought was love. But she had always drawn lines I wasn't allowed to cross. No surprises, no emotions too loud, and no children. Not yet, she'd said. Someday. Someday never came. At first I thought it was fear of motherhood, of losing control. But as time went on, I realized it wasn't fear, it was detachment. She didn't see us as we. She saw herself, and the rest of us were just orbiting her gravity. Her best friend, Claire, was the opposite. Warm, impulsive, nurturing. The kind of woman who could make a house feel like home just by walking into it. I'd known her for years, always around, always smiling. I never saw her as more than a friend. Until one night, after my wife's decision, she stopped by to check on me. She told me, Claire whispered, her voice shaking, "I thought you wanted kids." "I did," I said. "I do." Her eyes softened. There was something dangerous in that look, empathy mixed with truth. Something my wife had long forgotten how to offer. I started noticing more. The way Claire lingered when she said goodbye. The way my wife's phone lit up with messages she'd hide from me, late into the night. And then one day, by accident or fate, I saw a message not meant for me, from another man, her colleague. She'd been meeting him during her clinic visits. She wasn't just staying childless, she was staying faithless. I remember standing in the shower that night, letting the water scald my skin while I repeated her words in my head. Your decision. Yes. And now it was mine. Revenge doesn't have to be loud. It only needs to be thorough. Over the next 3 months, I became the man she always wanted. Compliant, composed, predictable. I signed the documents she placed before me, smiled at dinner parties, pretended not to notice the perfume that wasn't hers. Meanwhile, I met with my lawyer, moved my assets quietly, gathered evidence she never thought I'd see. By the time she went in for her surgery, everything was already in motion. The day she came home, pale and bandaged, I kissed her forehead. Then I handed her the divorce papers. No fight, no explanation, just silence. Her eyes widened. Why now? I looked at her and said, because I'm finally making a decision too. I didn't hear from her for months. Then one day, a wedding invitation arrived at her old address. I didn't send it directly. I knew word would travel. Claire and I were married in spring. Small ceremony, simple vows, genuine smiles. She knew everything, about the betrayal, about the surgery, about my scars. She didn't flinch. She once told me, some women break what they can't control. Others build what they're given. I chose the builder. The climax came at Easter. Claire and I hosted a small lunch. Family, friends, nothing extravagant. Someone had invited my ex. I didn't stop them. She walked in wearing white, uninvited but confident, as always. Her eyes scanned the table, landed on Claire, radiant, soft, glowing. Halfway through dessert, Claire stood up, placed her hand on her stomach, and smiled. "I have an announcement," she said. The room fell silent. "We're expecting." The clinking of cutlery stopped. My ex froze, her hand tightening around her glass until it cracked. Wine spilled like blood on the tablecloth. Her eyes met mine. Shock, disbelief, then something darker. Loss. I didn't look away. I just nodded. Later she cornered me outside, her voice trembling. "You did this to hurt me." I smiled faintly. "No, you did that yourself. I just stopped standing in the way of consequences." She wanted control. She got emptiness. I wanted peace. I got it. As I watched her leave that day, I felt nothing. No triumph, no pity, just closure. She had carved out a life without love or legacy, and I had walked away before she could carve the same emptiness into me. Now, when I look at Claire, her laughter filling the house that once echoed with silence, I realize revenge doesn't always destroy. Sometimes it restores. I didn't ruin her. I simply reminded her that choices have weight. She made hers with a surgeon's knife. I made mine with quiet precision. And in the end, both left scars. Hers visible, mine healed.